Homeschooling Grammy, and today I am joining in on a collab where homeschoolers are joining in discussing how they homeschool in their particular state. And so I'm going to be discussing how to homeschool in the state of New York. This collaboration is being hosted by Ingrid over at Ingrid Chronicles. There will be a link to the playlist in my description box, and there will also be a link to Ingrid's channel. We are going to be answering 10 questions today. And so if any of you have any further questions beyond what I answer in this video, please feel free to ask me in the comments, and I would be happy to do a video specific to your needs if that's what is necessary. New York State is a pretty complicated state. So if you're interested, stick around and we will get Okay, so question number 1 states, does your state require notice of intent to homeschool? Yes, we do have to file a notice of intent to homeschool. You have to do it every single year that you homeschool, because I know like in some states you only have to do it one time and you never have to do it again. In the state of New York, you have to do it every single year. If yes, are the regulations low, moderate, or high? Our regulations are very high. New York State is known as a red state as far as regulations are concerned. There have lots and lots of regulations and lots of details and stuff that you need to keep track of being a homeschool parent. Question number 2, what is the compulsory attendance school age in your state? 6 years old in the state of New York is when you have to start, sending all your goodies to the school district. Question number 3, what are the options of complying with the homeschooling laws in New York? There's really not any options. I mean, it's just you decide that you're going to homeschool, so you send a notice of intent that you're going to homeschool your child, and that's pretty much all you need to do to say that you're going to go ahead and start homeschooling. And I will get into more detail because I think there's some other questions with more detail involved. But yeah, all you got to do is send in your notice of intent. Okay, so on to question number 4. What are the record-keeping requirements for homeschooling in New York? So, all right, so I, just kind of do it second nature. I don't really think about it too much. So I wanted to make sure that I actually grabbed the regulations so that I didn't miss anything. So anyways, so if you are, say you're pulling out your child in the middle of a school year, you need to give a letter of intent to your school district within 10 days of, within 14 days of pulling your child out of school. So you can go ahead and pull your child out of school, and you have 14 days of which to notify the district that you are going to homeschool your child. Now, if you're already currently a homeschooler, you have to file this letter of intent by July 1st of every year, stating that the following school year that you are going to continue to homeschool your child. So that's the first thing that you need to do. And then after that, the school district has approximately 10 days to send a response letter with a packet explaining to you the regulations and, some other different things that are in there. So then what happens, we then have to do what's called an IHIP, an individualized home instruction plan. So basically you're going to tell the school district, based on the subjects that you need to cover, you're going to tell them, give them a scope and sequence of each of the subjects and what you plan to cover in each subject for your children, and submit that to the district superintendent. And I usually just hear, this is what's so weird. Our school district allows us to send everything by email. There are other districts that don't allow you to do that. I'm very fortunate in that respect. So I just, scan and email everything, and then they'll just give me a response to say, yes, they got it. Let's see, what else do we need? We need to maintain attendance records. We need to make a note of all the subjects that are required to be taught for each subject in our IHIP. And then we also do quarterly reports, and we do yearly assessments, which can be a written assessment or it can be a standardized test. And let's see, what else? For grades 1 through 6, you have to complete 9 hours of home instruction. So you need to keep attendance records and hours of instruction records. And so that's for grades 1 through 6, 900 hours, 990 hours for grades 7 through 12. Like I said before, we need to submit quarterly reports to the superintendent each quarter, just like, you would get a report card from your child. In essence, that's what we are doing. We are, giving progress of how our child is doing in each subject. And then at the end of the year, we submit an annual assessment with your final quarterly report. So not only do you do your quarterly report, you also have your yearly assessment in there with that. And like I said before, it can be a written assessment that you do yourself, or it can be one that you did a standardized test for. And there again, what I've been hearing, because my district allows under other for ourselves to go ahead and do the annual assessment or to give the standardized test. I've been hearing recently in some districts that they're not allowing parents to do that, that they're wanting a certified teacher or whatever to do the annual assessment and do the standardized testing. We have not had that issue in my school district. So I'm very grateful for that. I can just go ahead and do my own assessment. So that's like the basics of what you need each school year, and all the kind of record keeping requirements. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, I can actually go in more in depth and show you how I do these records and how I keep track. Just let me know down in the comments. Okay, so on to question number 5. What is the process of withdrawing your child from his or her current school in New York? So like I said before, if you homeschool from the beginning, it's really not any different. If you're homeschooling like right from the beginning, from kindergarten or first grade, whatever you decide to start your child, whatever level you decide to start your child at. Like for us, we did do kindergarten, but it wasn't required of us to let the district know that we were doing kindergarten because of the compulsory age of being 6, and we did kindergarten when she was 5. So we started with first grade. But all you do is a letter of intent to this superintendent of the school. Let them know that you intend to homeschool your child. It needs to be done before July 1st of the school year. Or if your child is already in school, you can go ahead and pull your child, and you have 14 days of which to submit the letter, and they have like 10 days to respond back to you. Okay, so on to question number 6. Are standardized tests required in the state of New York? Yes, they are, but not until a certain grade level. So once your child reaches 4th grade, it is required that they do a standardized test every other year. So what most homeschool parents do here in the New York state of New York is they do an achievement test in 5th grade and then again in 7th grade. So that way it meets their every other year requirement between the grades 4 through 8. And then when high school hits, you're required to do a standardized test every year. Question number 7, do you need to possess home instructor qualifications in New York State? And the answer to that is no. All right, on to question number 8. What are the required subjects that you must teach in New York State? So I have it written out here because, well, not written out here, it's typed out here. Our district actually sends it to you when you do your IHIP. So I'm going to go ahead and just read off of here. It's different depending on the grade level. So grades 1 through 6, you need to cover arithmetic, reading, spelling, writing, English language, geography, United States history, science, health education, music, visual arts, physical education, bilingual education, and or English as a second language where the need is indicated. And for grades 7 and 8, you must have 2 units of English, history, you should have English 2 units, history and geography 2 units, science 2 units, mathematics 2 units, physical education on a regular basis, health education on a regular basis, art 1/2 unit, music 1/2 unit, practical arts on a regular basis, and library skills on a regular basis. And the units required herein are cumulative requirements for both grades 7 and 8. And actually, when I send in my IHIP, we do require. I actually have. I don't know, I'm like bumbling all over the place. I actually include library skills in there as well because we go to the library frequently. But those are the basics for grades 1 through 8. But then when you get into high school, then again it changes. For grades 9 through 12, you need 4 units of English, 4 units of social studies, which includes 1 unit of American history and 1/2 unit in participation in government. and a 1/2 unit economics, 2 units of math, 2 units of science. Art and music, you need 1 unit. Health education, you need 1/2 a unit. In physical education, you need 2 units. And 3 units of electives. And the units are required herein as cumulative requirements for grades 9 through 12. And that's why I'm reading right from documentation, because too much for me to remember. This old lady couldn't remember all that if she tried. On to question number 9. Do you need to maintain a portfolio in New York State? When we were in Maryland, yeah, I actually had to have an actual portfolio. What I do now is I have on my computer, I also have emails, copies of the emails that I have sent to the district. And right now I've actually been keeping most of the work that we do in our homeschool just for my own benefit. But I also have copies, like you can see here. This is from all of first grade. This has everything that I submitted to the district last year for first grade, along with the quarterly report dates that I sent them in on. So I have a hard copy for myself. I have the copy that I sent in an email. I also have the hard copy. I have a copy on my computer. So I guess you could kind of say it's a portfolio, but it's not actual work that is shown. It's just my assessment and my quarterly reports. But I have most of her curriculum and most of the stuff that she has done, which I know at some point I'm probably going to just have to pick through the most important things. But yeah, I hope that answers that question. Number 10, explain Common Core in New York. Well, this one will be easy because I don't do Common Core. It's not required of us to do Common Core in the state of New York, so I don't know anything about Common Core. I'm old school. We're learning math the old-fashioned way. So if anybody wants to, chime in down there in the comments, that would be totally awesome. But we have not been doing any Common Core. I just want to say thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope that this collaboration was a huge help to you and a blessing to your homeschool, especially if you're a homeschooler here in the state of New York. Please make sure to check out the Ingrid Chronicles. A link is in my description box, and also check out the playlist. There will be other homeschoolers that will be going through the regulations and how to do homeschool in their particular state. God bless, take care, and I will talk to you again soon.